Getting Hardaway Southern T back with another EP. Y'all do your boy a favor. Y'all hit that thumbs up for your boy when you roll on, man. We here for an early conversation, man. We gonna be here. We'll be here about 30 hours, right? However long it take, to get out what we need to get out, man. So today we here to have us a boxing conversation, right? Hot topic in boxing, no, not Earl and Bud, right? Although that's a hot topic. Uh, hot topic today in boxing is Devin Haney and what Devin Haney is going to do next. You know what I mean? Now that he's become undisputed at 135. Devin Haney, he has a couple options right now. Right. Devin Haney has voiced that he would like to move up to the 140-pound division, right? But there are a couple fights at 135 that do entice Devin Haney, right? He said first and foremost, you got that Gervonta Tank Davis fight, which is the fight that Devin Haney wants most. Also, Gervonta Tank Davis, said that he would fight Devin Haney next as well, right? So that's the fight, that Devin Haney is deep down, that's a fight that he really wants. Also, he said if he can't get the Tank fight, then he wants to move up to 140 and challenge one of the champions at 140. We all know the history that him and Teofimo Lopez has. Quick, TWT was good. Appreciate you sliding through this time, Queen. Glad you can make it. We all know the history that Teofimo and Devin Haney has. Teofimo is now a champion at the 140-pound division. That's also a great option for him. You know what I mean? At the 140-pound division. Kills two birds with one stone. He gets to fight Tio, and he gets to move up to the 140-pound. He gets to move up to the 140-pound division, right? Also on this list, you got Regis Prograis. Regis Prograis is also a champ at the 140-pound division. Devin Haney also expressed interest in fighting Regis Prograis. He called out, he didn't call out Regis Prograis, right? He called Eddie Hearn and spoke to Eddie Hearn about a possible fight with the newest DAZN signee, Regis Prograis, right? So Regis Prograis is an option in there as well. And we got Shakur Stevenson, right? Shakur Stevenson is the last guy in, right? Shakur Stevenson versus Devin Haney would be an interesting fight, right? Two young prospects on the rise. Which guy is better, right? So Shakur Stevenson as well. So we got Tank Davis, we got Teofimo Lopez, and we got Regis Prograis, right? So the questions that I'm asking right now is, if you're Devin Haney, right? Not if you're a fan of Regis, right? Because if you're a fan of Regis, then you're going to pick Regis, right? Not if you're a fan of Gervonta Tank Davis, right? Because then you're going to pick Gervonta Tank Davis, right? Not if you're a fan of Teofimo Lopez, right? Because then you're going to pick Teofimo Lopez, right? You know what I mean? But if you're Devin Haney, right? If you're Devin Haney and you're in this position right now, what would be the best fight for Devin Haney? Let's say that you manage a fighter yourself. You know what I mean? Let's say that you manage a fighter. You manage Devin Haney, right? If you manage Devin Haney, or if you're Devin Haney, you can put yourself in either of those shoes, right? Which of these four fights makes the most sense for you or your fighter, right? And that's what we're here to talk about today. You know what I mean? We have four great options. All will be very competitive. All will be high level fights. All will be big name fights, right? So we could throw away, the Rudy Poo card in this situation, right? There is no Rudy Poos in this lineup. T.O., Shakur, Tank, or Regis Prograis, right? There are no Rudy Poos, you know what I mean, in this lineup. Each of these fights is going to be a tough fight, you know what I mean, for Devin, right? So all of these are good fights, right? So we can check the box off of that, right? So now, when we nitpicking like this, right, we got to break down, well, what separates a good fight from, a great fight, right? Name opponent, right? Titles, uh, big name opponents, titles, right? Those is what adds more intrigue into a fight, right? So let's use Devin Haney. Let's do this, right? Of all the fights, Devin Haney is a champion himself, right? So Devin Haney will be defending his own straps in any of those fights if they take place at 135, right? If they take place at 140, then it wouldn't be for Devin Haney's strap, right? So let's look at Shakur Stevenson. Devin Haney facing off against Shakur Stevenson will be a highly competitive fight, an exciting fight. It will be a fight that the fans do want, right? There are fans out here that would want to see that, right? But all in all, if you're Devin Haney, right? If you're Devin Haney and you're picking through your opponents, you're picking through your next fights. You got Shakur on here, you got Prograis, you got Tank, and you got T.O. Well, let's break it down like this, right? The biggest name star of the four, right? The biggest name on this list would probably be Gervonta Tank Davis. Y'all hit that thumbs up. I got 8 people in the building. I got 4 likes. Y'all get your boy right. Y'all hit that thumbs up for your boy. No reason I should have 80 y'all in here and just 4 likes. You know what I mean? But let's break it down like this, right? The biggest name you see on here is Gervonta Tank Davis, right? You got Gervonta Tank Davis, you got Teofimo Lopez, you got Regis Prograis, and you got Shakur Stevenson, right? So the biggest name on here is Regis Prograis, right? Let's move to the next one, right? Let's look at strap. Who on this list is strapped up? If you're Devin Haney, if you're Devin Haney's manager, who on this list is strapped up, right? So you got Regis Prograis, who's a champ at the 140-pound division, which is a division that you guys are probably, looking at. That's a division you guys are leaning towards, right? So you got Prograis being the champ at 140, right? You got Teofimo Lopez just becoming a champ at 140, right? He's a champ at 140, the division, that you probably want to be going to next. I just told you that Gervonta Tank Davis is the biggest star on this list, right? But he's not a champ. So if you fight Gervonta Tank Davis, it will be in defense for your belts at Undisputed, right? And if you take on Shakur Stevenson, it will be in defense of your belts at Undisputed, right? So you got Regis Prograis, who's a champion. You got Teofimo Lopez, who's a champion. You got Gervonta Tank Davis, who's the biggest name, you know what I mean, on this list. And then you got Shakur Stevenson, right? Who would be just a good fight. So if I'm Devin Haney's manager, right, or if I'm Devin Haney, I'm weighing my options because that's what you do when you're the champion, right? I see what people are trying to do right now too. People trying to make it seem as if, Devin Haney is the one that has to answer the bell. What's good, Jelly Bean? Appreciate you sliding through. They try to make it seem like as if Devin Haney, right, is the one that has to answer the bell, right? When we forget that Devin Haney is currently the undisputed champion, right? Which means that if you're sitting at the top of the throne, you get to call your own shots. So if I'm calling my own shots, right, I'm going to do what makes the most sense to me, right? So a lot of us forget, right? So let's step back for a second. A lot of us forget, right, that Gervonta Davis stated, when he signed to fight Ryan Garcia and he signed to fight Hector Garcia, a lot of us forget that Gervonta Tank Davis said that his next 2 fights would be Devin Haney and it would be Shakur Stevenson, right? So I know we want to hold Devin Haney, to what he says, right? We want to push Devin Haney in every which direction we could, as if he's the one, right, that still has the most to prove. He's the most proven, right? We want to push him in the direction, in the 100 direction, as if he's still the one, with something to prove, right? He said Tank shouldn't even be a part of any conversation until his ass is free. He can't do a damn thing for the time being. That's true, Quee, but he only gonna be locked up 3 months. That's a training camp. You know what I mean? 90 days. That's 3 months. If him and Devin Haney is going to fight, they could fight this year. You know what I mean? He ain't gonna be in there 3 years. You get what I mean? If Devin Haney, if a fight was to be signed today, about the time Tank is out of jail, you know what I mean? That fight probably still wouldn't go down. You know what I mean? But like I don't necessarily, I don't tend to that. Let's not talk about Tank at all because it's only 90 days. You know what I mean? Literally 90 days. He'll be out of jail in July. You know what I mean? He'll be out of jail in July. You know what I mean? So it take about 90 days to get a fight done. You know what I mean? It take about 90 days for negotiation. You know what I mean? So Gervonta Tank Davis, said himself that he will be fighting, right? Because we like to tell Devin what he should do. We like to tell Devin what he should do, right? As if Devin is the one that's not the champ. Well, Gervonta Tank Davis said that he would like to fight Devin Haney next, right? So I thought we wanted to see at the same time. He can't speak for himself yet. He's in control. Yes, Tank Davis is picking his own fights at this moment. He said after Ryan and Hector, he was going to fight Devin. A lot of people seem to have forgotten it though. Quickly, like a lot of people seem to have forgotten it. You know what I mean? You know that Tank said he was going to fight Devin and Shakur, right? Everybody they want to push, Tank. We want to push Devin and Shakur as if we forgot. You know what I mean? Is Devin the only one, right? That we holding to a standard, right? Shakur Stevenson just got the 135. Shakur Stevenson just got the 135, right? And we want to give him that undisputed title shot, right? As if Tank and Devin, one just beefing before Cambosis, as if Tank didn't say that he was going to fight Devin Haney after, he fought Hector Garcia and Ryan Garcia, right? But so a lot of people forget that, right? That Tank is on the hook for fighting Devin Haney, right? Everybody trying to hook Devin Haney, right? Everybody trying to hang Devin Haney, over the edge. Oh, how the hell can you do Regis, Tank, and Shakur all at the same time? Now the picture that they want to paint is, oh, Shakur really want this fight. Shakur really want this fight, right? Well, let's really break it down, right? A Gervonta Tank Davis fight, right, is worth, a lot more than a Shakur Stevenson fight. Namesake wise, Devin Haney and Tank Davis are bigger names, right, than Shakur Stevenson. So if you're in line for a Gervonta Tank Davis fight, if you have to with the current talk, let's focus on the immediate fight. It can be made right now. Right, but what I'm saying, Quee, is right. If we make an immediate fight that can be made right now, if you make that fight right now, Quee, it's gonna happen when Tank get out of jail. Know what I'm getting at? You know what I mean? If Devin Haney fights somebody else right now, that fight won't happen until Tank is out of jail. You know what I mean? Devin Haney ain't about to get back into a fight. His next fight probably be in December. If Tank get out of jail in August. You know what I mean? 3 months from then, they could be fighting in December, right? People forget Devin Haney just got out of the ring in May. It's not even June 20th. Devin Haney got in the fight June 20th. So we're expecting Devin Haney to not take a break at all and to sign a fight next week. Like we got to make it make sense. You know what I mean? About when Devin Haney is going to fight next, it's going to be December. He just had a fight in May, right? He could maybe fight like in November, but his next fight is probably, going to be in December. He had a May fight. You know what I mean? Tank will be out of jail in May for sure. I mean, in December for sure. That's if it's Tank, right? That's just one option, right? Devin had a fight less than 30 days ago. He had a fight less than 30 days ago. Like, he ain't going to fight again for another 3 months. By the time Devin is ready to fight again, Tank Davis will be out of jail. Devin just had a fight in May. By the time he ready to fight again, Tank Davis will be out of jail. Hey, appreciate you sliding through this thing, Tay. Glad you make it, glad you make you snuck in this thing. Y'all hit that thumbs up for your boy when you roll on in. We're in there having us a boxing conversation. We breaking down which opponent, right, will be the best for Devin Haney, right? I'm just going through the options right now, right? The best option on this list, right, which I started here, right? The best option to me, right? The best option to me on this list for Devin Haney will be a Gervonta Tank Davis fight, right? And I know what y'all gonna say, well, Tank is in jail. Tank is only gonna be in jail 30 days. Devin Haney just had a fight last month, meaning that if he's going to have another fight, he's not even going to start, you know what I mean, really negotiating that fight. He's not going to really start, being serious about that fight, at least until a month or two, you know what I mean, type deal. And then by the time he gets serious about a fight, they probably ain't going to sign the fight until about 3 months after that, right? So we got about a 5 month span in between the time from now when Devin Haney will even be thinking about entertaining another fight, right? So if Gervonta Tank Davis is going to fight Devin Haney, like Gervonta Tank Davis said, it wouldn't really be smart for Devin Haney to take a fight in between, you know what I mean, now in December, because he just fought in May. Between May and December is about 6 months, you know what I mean, which is about how long a fighter waits before he has another fight anyway, right? So if we believe in Gervonta Tank Davis, And what Gervonta Tank Davis said about fighting Devin Haney, then we should be prepping for Gervonta getting out of jail and Devin Haney and Gervonta Tank Davis. Because if you asking me, Gervonta Tank Davis is a much better fight than Shakur Stevenson. Right? Gervonta Tank Davis will be the best fight on this list for you, right? And he's not even a champion. But the love that he get, the star power that he has, right? A Gervonta Tank Davis win will catapult you. You know what I mean? I think Gervonta Tank Davis will be the best option for Devin Haney, especially since Gervonta Tank Davis already said that he wants to fight you next as well, which a lot of us has forgot. Gervonta Tank Davis clearly said, I want to fight Devin Haney next. You know what I mean? So I think Tank will be the best option. But if you're not going to fight Tank, I don't see much of a reason for you to stay down at 35. And that's where Shakur Stevenson comes into it for me. Shakur Stevenson will be a good fight to watch. It'll be a fan-friendly fight to watch, right? But if you're Devin Haney, that fight makes no sense. Because if you're staying at 35, right, the biggest fight down there for you will be Gervonta Tank Davis. And he said that, he wants that smoke with you too, right? I'm waiting to see how that transpired, right? People want to throw Devin Haney in the ring with everybody else, except for the guy, Gervonta Tank Davis, that he wanted to be in the ring with. The guy that y'all say is the best. The guy that y'all think beat Shakur, right? People want to throw him in the ring with everybody but that guy, right? And the Tank is in jail. He gonna be in jail 90 days, yo. 90 days. By the time we go see way back up, blink our ass twice, 90 days is gonna be gone. You get what I'm saying? So if you go stay at 35, I most definitely would not be fighting Shakur Stevenson. I'll be waiting for that Gervonta Tank Davis fight. Because if I'm going to risk staying at 35 against my own will, and we know it's against Devin's, better judgment, because Devin said multitude of times, right, that he wants to go up to 140. So if you're going to stay down there 135, you do it for Gervonta. Shakur Stevenson would be a good fight, but Shakur Stevenson hasn't done enough. Shakur Stevenson, like when Floyd did his 90 days, Davis, Shakur Stevenson hasn't done enough, right? Shakur Stevenson doesn't have a strap right now. Shakur Stevenson is a good name for you, but he's not the name that Gervonta Tank Davis. He's not going to bring the name or the fame that a Tank will bring, right? So if you're going to stay at 35, I think Gervonta Tank Davis will be the best option for you down there. You know what I mean? But I think Tank is the best option overall. If we talking about 140, right, you got Regis Prograis and you got Teofimo Lopez. Now, no, everybody is stating the fact that, oh, well, he got a chance to fight Shakur Stevenson. He should sign the contract. He also got a chance to fight Teofimo Lopez, right? And if y'all remember, now I know some of us don't, but I'm going to remind you, right? If you remember, Teofimo Lopez and Devin Haney has history. Teofimo Lopez and Devin Haney has more history than Shakur Stevenson. Teofimo Lopez was supposed to fight Devin Haney at 135, when Shakur Stevenson was at 130. Big Tex, what's good, Big Tex? Appreciate you sliding through. Devin Haney was supposed to fight Teofimo. I said Shakur Stevenson. Devin Haney was supposed to fight Teofimo Lopez down at 135. Teofimo Lopez chose to fight George Kambosos instead of fighting Devin Haney, right? Teofimo Lopez's dad and Bill Haney's dad have a history. Do we have an idea what Bill Haney was sitting at the table with Bob and what exactly was it about, or speculation at the moment? Quickly, I'll tell you what I know quickly, which is what I'm getting at, right? Which is what I'm alluding to. Quickly, I ain't coming here for no reason, quickly. These things be well thought out. These morning EPs, quick, they be well thought out. I ain't coming here, just to come. I'm coming here quick with that fire, quick. I'm coming with that shit. You know what I mean? I'm coming with that shit, quick. I'm coming with that shit, right? So we here to figure out, what makes the most sense. So we go break down each opponent, right? We go break down each opponent. Right? So we all forget that T.O. and Devin Haney have a past history. T.O. and Devin Haney have a past history longer than the history with Shakur Stevenson. Devin Haney and Shakur Stevenson wasn't even on one another's radar. Shakur Stevenson brings the least to the table. Shakur Stevenson brings the least to the table out of these four guys, right? He brings the least to the table. He's probably the least known, Prograis has a belt. You could say Prograis and Shakur Stevens are about tit for tat as far as who knows them, right? They're about tit for tat, and Prograis has the belt, right? So I would put Tank as the number one option in this situation, right? And let's move on to T.O. Devin and T.O. have a history, right? Bob Arum laid out a 3-fight option, right? Everybody is hip to the fact that, oh, Shakur Stevens, you should fight Shakur Stevens. He was on there. He was on there at first. It was, you should rematch Lomachenko, right? And now it's, you should fight Shakur Stevenson, right? But before that, it was, you should beat up Teofimo Lopez. And before that, it was, you should beat up Tank. You know what I mean? But I digress. So Teofimo Lopez, right? Also, Devin Haney has a contract also to fight Teofimo Lopez. If we recall, Teofimo Lopez has been Devin Haney's enemy, right? His rival for quite some time now. Yeah, Shakur Stevenson is on the table, right? But so is Teofimo Lopez. Teofimo Lopez has a strap at the 140-pound division. Shakur Stevenson doesn't have a strap. Devin Haney beating Shakur Stevenson gives him another title defense. Devin Haney fighting Teofimo Lopez gives him a new division. It gives him a new division. It gives him, an opportunity to add to his legacy, which is what he's about. There is nothing left for Devin Haney really to prove at 135. You know what I mean? So Devin Haney wants to go up. You know what I mean, to 140. He has this fight on the table. Teofimo Lopez, a fight that he's been wanting for quite some time now. Teofimo Lopez is now currently a champion, you know what I mean, at 140. So I will consider Teofimo Lopez to be the second best option if I'm Devin Haney, or if I'm Devin Haney's manager. The Gervonta Tank Davis fight is going to do huge numbers. It's going to be a big-time fight, whether it's for a belt or not, let alone it being for undisputed. Teofimo Lopez is a big-time fight, right? Teofimo Lopez is coming off his win over Josh Taylor. You coming off a win over Lomachenko. That's much better than the win over Yoshimi. You know what I mean? Gervonta Tank Davis is coming off a win versus Ryan Garcia, right? Regis Prograis is coming off a win versus Jose Zepeda, right? What's the better win, right? A win over Ryan Garcia, a win over Jose Zepeda, a win over Josh Taylor, or a win over Yoshimi. You get what I mean? Or a win over Yoshimi, right? Everybody pushing this, this Shakur Stevenson thing is basically a Shakur Stevenson fan. When you look at it in totality, Shakur Stevenson is literally the worst option of the guys left on the table. You being Shakur Stevenson is just like you being George Kambosos. You get another title defense. Just like you being Loma, you get another title defense, right? Shakur Stevenson is a name, but he's not the name that Gervonta is. He's not the name that Teofimo Lopez is. Let's just be real. Teofimo Lopez, when you really look at it, he's an accomplished fighter, unified multi-division champ. You know what I mean? Been in a lot of big name fights. You know what I mean? Loma, Josh Taylor, those are some names. Teofimo Lopez's resume, whether we like him or not, Teofimo Lopez is a formidable opponent right now, right? Not playing favorites. We just going off what they done in their careers, right? Teofimo Lopez is more accomplished than a lot of guys. You know what I mean? Devin versus T.O. is a huge fight. I think that's the second best fight option for Devin Haney. Tank being number one. Y'all got a history. Tank just said that he won't smoke with you before he fought Hector Garcia and Ryan Garcia, right? So if that fight is on the table, make that happen. We know that Teofimo Lopez is on the table, right? Quickly brought up a good point. Quickly said something about Bob Arum. I'm going to put that on the screen. Quickly asked a question about Bob Arum. Well, guess what, Quickly? I talked to Bill as well, right? So now what I was getting at was people have been alluded to the fact if Devin Haney want to fight Shakur, he could sign on the line. He got a contract in front of him. He could sign on the line, right? But they missed the fact that he also had Teofimo Lopez on there. You know what I mean? He also had Teofimo Lopez on there. Devin Haney has been trying to back Teofimo Lopez in the corner for quite some time. You know what I mean? He's tried to back Tio in the corner for quite some time. And the thing that people are failing to realize is that Teofimo Lopez works for Bob Arum. So if I got Shakur on the line and I got Teofimo Lopez on the line, if I got Shakur on the line and I got Teofimo Lopez on the line, I finally got Teofimo Lopez right where I want him. He can't go nowhere. Now Teofimo Lopez is starting to, I want more money, or I'm going to retire. You know what I mean? It just makes a lot more sense for Devin Haney to not have to weight drain himself, right? It makes a lot more sense. So if Devin Haney, let's say Devin Haney fights Shakur Stevenson, right? Is he now ducking Teofimo Lopez? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So is he ducking Teofimo Lopez? All these years he chased Teofimo Lopez. You got Bill Haney walking around Teofimo Lopez daddy hood asking for T.O. Cena, asking for T.O. Cena. Where T.O. at? I've been looking for him. Did we forget that? Did we forget that Bill Haney was been walking around looking for T.O. for years? So if he fights Shakur Stevenson, the new kid on the block, because that's basically what Shakur Stevenson is right now at 35. That's basically what he is right now at 35. He's the new kid on the block. So you telling me if he fight T.O., he ducking Shakur. So if he fights Shakur, is he ducking the fight that he been trying to get for years on years on years? Yoda, what's good, Yoda? Appreciate you sliding through. Glad you can make it. Hit that thumbs up for your boy. I see where you're going with this. Like, quick, you get what I'm saying? Quick. Like, where is the history at? Is the history with Shakur Stevenson? Or is the history with Teofimo Lopez and Tank? You know what I mean? We know the fans love Tank. That's a huge fight. Tank just did $1 million on the pay-per-view. Shakur ain't even did a pay-per-view yet. You know what I mean? That's the best option. If you're talking about a second best option, right? Teofimo Lopez is coming off a Josh Taylor win, right? Josh Taylor was the last undisputed champion at 140. You get what I'm saying? He gave away all his belts. You know what I mean? To fight his last fight, T.O., but he was the last guy to unify all of those belts. Teofimo Lopez is coming off that win. You finally got Teofimo Lopez in the corner. He got to fight you over on Top Rank. Devin Haney literally could take over Top Rank. Now, what people go try to do is, if he don't fight Shakur Stevenson next, then he ducks Shakur Stevenson. Well, my thing is Shakur Stevenson, right? Instead of trying to take the easy route, right? You want to jump the line, you want to jump the gun, you want to jump in front of everybody and get straight to Devin Haney, right? After Devin Haney then collected all the belts, right? On that Top Rank Toby 2.0 shit, right? If I'm Devin Haney, bro, I got way better options. right now than Shakur Stevenson fight. They don't offer me much. Shakur Stevenson, you see Devin Haney and you want where he got. You want what he got. You want to be where he is, which is understandable. Everybody should want to be the best. Everybody should want to be undisputed. I get it. But you got to think right now, Haney is the man. Everybody want Haney. Loma, Tank, you. Everybody but T.O., right? Devin want T.O. Everybody want Haney except T.O., right? But Prograde, everybody want Haney right now. Haney is the hot commodity. Haney is the hot topic right now at this point. But guess who else is hot over this weekend? Teofimo Lopez. Guess who been hot? Gervonta Tank Davis. Guess who on fire right now? Devin Haney. People can't keep Devin Haney name out their mouth right now. You know what I mean? Shakur basically is nabbing at the tail of Devin Haney, right? But I digress, right? I feel like Gervonta Tank Davis, star power, $1 million pay-per-view, being the people's champ, that make the most sense. Y'all got a history. Y'all got the longest history of anybody on this list. Tank, Devin Haney. Tank said he was fighting you next. You know what I mean? So if Devin Haney fight Shakur, right, is he ducking Tank? Because Tank said he wants you next. So if Devin fights Shakur, is he ducking Tank? Right? They got the longest history. Teofimo Lopez and Devin Haney got a history. Devin Haney been chasing him for years. chasing him around for years. He finally got T.O. on the dotted line. T.O. is coming out for Josh Taylor win. T.O. is a multi-division champ. You know what I mean? He's a champ at 140, a new division that you want to go to. Do it make more sense for me to fight T.O. now, a fight that I've been wanting, and he a champ in a new division, give me a new accolade, give me a new chance to chase legacy, right? Or should I fight, Shakur Stevenson, who will be just another title defense at a weight that I don't want to be at a weight that is hard for me to weight. It's hard for me to make, the weight right now. I can make the weight because I'm disciplined, but it'd be much easier for me to make 140. You know what I mean? Type deal. So if you're asking me, Tank just said I'm fighting Devin and I'm fighting Shakur, right? So he said Devin first. Devin and Tank has the longest history. T.O. coming off his big win. He's a champ at a new division. That's the second best option to me. Now we get down to the third best option, right? We get down to the last two. We got Prograis, and then we got Shakur Stevenson, right? Now, Regis Prograis is also a champion at 140, a new division that Devin Haney is looking forward to, a division that Devin Haney is looking ahead to. Regis Prograis is a champion right now. So if he fight Regis Prograis, it will be for a strap. If he fight T.O., it'll be for a strap, right? If he fight Tank, it won't be for a strap. But Tank is probably seen as the best guy out of everybody on the list. I said he's seen as the best guy as everybody on the list. So him fighting Tank makes the most sense to me. You know what I mean? But him fighting Regis Prograis will also be for a title at the 140-pound division, meaning he's adding legacy. He's adding legacy to, the Devin Haney name. You know what I mean? Him fighting you, it adds a name in Shakur Stevenson, but he could add a name in Gervonta Tank Davis, a bigger name in Gervonta Tank Davis. He could add a bigger name in Teofimo Lopez, right? You and Regis, y'all name about tit for tat, except for Regis got a belt right now. You know what I mean? So if you're asking me, right, I'm looking at it. If you're asking me, I'm looking at it. If you fight Shakur Stevenson, that would be the absolutely worst choice that you could make right now of all the choices that you got. That's the worst choice because you win the least. You earn the least, right? You have the least to gain from fighting Shakur Stevenson. Shakur Stevenson is trying to jump that line. He's trying to take that quick route. Oh, Devin undisputed. I'm finna go fight Devin and get undisputed all in one rip. You know what I mean? We've been telling Devin to move up for how long? Devin been talking about moving up for how long? You know what I mean? Type deal. I bet you do want to fight Devin Haney right now, one fight before he about to move up. You know what I mean? I bet you do want to fight Devin Haney right now, one fight before he about to move up. Right? You know what I mean? We really need to pay attention to what's going on. What is the urge, right? You want to fight Devin Haney all of a sudden now. When you know he about to roll. Tank Davis called out you. Tank Davis called out you and Devin Haney, right? Where's the image at? Work. I'm back. I'm doing my show, fool. We ain't trying to all right. Damn. I'm back now. My bad. But what I was getting at, Gervonta Tank Davis. Gervonta Tank Davis, who makes it smooth. Gervonta Tank Davis, what's good, BBO? Appreciate you sliding through this thing, BBO. Glad you can make it, man. Y'all hit that thumbs up for your boy when y'all slide on there. We ain't having a boxing conversation. I'm asking y'all. Who y'all feel like is the best option right now for Devin Haney, right? I got 13 people in the building. If you're Devin Haney, right? If you're Devin Haney's manager right now, you got 4 fights on the table. Now you the champ. Like people will want to make it seem like Devin Haney is the person with stuff to prove. You feel me? People will want to make it seem like Devin Haney is the one who still got stuff to prove. Devin Haney is the one who ain't done nothing. Devin Haney is the one that's not undisputed. Devin Haney is the one that don't got the big name fights. When in actuality, Devin Haney is the most proven out of all of these guys. Out of all the young guys, Devin Haney is the most proven, right? Everybody trying to throw Devin Haney left, trying to throw Haney right, trying to throw Haney left, trying to throw Haney right, as if he's not the one that got a choice to make. No matter who he picked, you could say that he ducking somebody. You get what I'm saying? Now, Shakur Stevenson's side go try to clout chase and build their reputation off Devin Haney. That's their whole move right now. Let's clout chase and build our name off Devin, right? They go tell you, oh, Devin ducked me, right? But you could make a case Devin ducking T.O. if he don't fight T.O. He been asking for this T.O. fight for how long? How long he been asking for a T.O. fight? Gervonta Tank Davis finally came. How long he been asking for a Tank fight? Gervonta Tank Davis finally came out and said, hey, yeah, I'm going to fight Devin next. Shakur Stevenson see the same shit that we see. Everybody want to fight Devin right now. And Shakur trying to get his ass in the mix because he really in last place as far as the big three go. Right? You know what I want to see? Shakur Stevenson is the least proven out of all of them. He's the least proven out of all of them. You know what I mean? Frank Martin is on his way up. Frank Martin is on his way up. You know what I mean? I want to see Frank versus Shakur. That's what I want to see. Shakur is the least proven. He's the least proven out of all the guys we're talking about right now. I want to see him fight Frank Martin. You know what I mean? That's the fight for me for Shakur Stevenson. That I feel like, you know what I mean, that will be his big time fight, his big name fight, his big moment to prove himself. It'll be versus Frank Martin. You know what I mean? Because Devin Haney is probably about to go up, and those belts are about to vacate. You know what I mean? Devin Haney probably about to go up, and them belts probably about to vacate. So you gonna have to do exactly what Devin Haney did, yo, and you gonna have to, get you a strap, right? And you gonna have to go chase them just down. Devin Haney literally, y'all watch, everybody watch. Shakur Stevenson watch, everybody watch Devin Haney chase these guys down. We saw Devin Haney chase Lomachenko up to T.O., right? T.O. beat Lomachenko. We saw Devin Haney chase T.O. down to George Kambosos. He ended up losing to George Kambosos. We saw George Kambosos go and try to fight Lomachenko, right? But he couldn't make it happen because Lomachenko had to go to war. So we saw Kambosos have to turn around and face Devin Haney after Devin Haney ran him into a corner. You know what I mean? So all these niggas just sit and watch Devin Haney, you know what I mean, chase these belts. And as soon as he get them, now it's, I'll fight him now. I'll fight. Yeah, I want to fight now. I want to fight now. When he not already told y'all, bro, I got shit to do. I got plans. I ain't finna be here. I accomplished my goal at 135. Y'all watch me get a belt at 135. Now y'all niggas want to fight me when I'm about to roll up out of here. Now I'm Gucci. I'm finna go get me another belt just like T.O. And I'm probably about to take T.O.'s. I'm probably about to take T.O.'s. You get what I'm saying? T.O. ain't got no voluntary. It ain't no voluntary when it comes to T.O. T.O. voluntary is Bob Arum. You don't have real voluntaries when you fight on Top Rank. You could hope Bob Arum gives you an easy fight, but you don't have volunteers. You don't have volunteers when you fight Bob Arum. Bob Arum pick who you fight. If Devin Haney signed that contract, Teofimo Lopez is going to have to fight Devin Haney. Point blank period. Point blank period. He's going to have to fight Devin Haney. And it's that simple. You know what I mean? Shakur will be the last person he needs to think about. Bingo. Right now. Exactly. If you go stay at 35, you go stay at 35 for 10. And if you're moving up to 140, more than likely, you got 2 championship fights on the table. Prograis and T.O. Why the hell am I worried about Shakur Stevenson? Right? I will only be doing Shakur Stevenson a favor. Devin Haney not doing himself no favors. Look at the options that's on the table. You got 2 belts in the new division, and you got Gervonta Tank Davis. You get what I'm saying? The worst option on there. The worst option for me is Shakur Stevenson. It makes no sense. Shakur Stevenson is looking to prove himself, and he want to prove himself against Devin Haney. But it's not Devin Haney's job to alter or to slow himself down or to starve himself, right, or to hurt himself to try to fight Shakur Stevenson at 135. Damn sure not when he could fight Gervonta Tank Davis at 135. Now, what people gonna say is Devin Haney said he'd stay at 35 to fight Gervonta Tank Davis, or he'll stay at 35 to fight Shakur Stevenson. he got a chance to fight Shakur Stevenson, so he should fight him. Well, true. He did say, I want to fight Devontae Tank Davis first, right? And also, years ago, right, since we holding Devin to what he said years ago, we know Devin been wanting to fight T.O. T.O. and Devin Haney have years worth of history. So if you hold him to what he said, will involve him fighting Teofimo Lopez, right? How about you hold Teofimo Lopez to his standard, right? And you tell him stop running from Devin Haney. You done went division. Teofimo Lopez is turning into Canelo Alvarez when it comes to Jamal Charlo. Don't get me started. You know what I mean? He about to hop division to division, right? Y'all out here on all this coon activity, your big cue ball head ass. Y'all out here on all this coon activity. You know what I mean? All this coonmanship. You know what I mean? Oh, Shakur. Oh, Devin ducking Shakur. Well, what about T.O.? T.O. about to run from Devin Haney again from another division. You know what I mean? How long Devin and T.O. been at it? Oh, he ducking Shakur. Or is he ducking T.O.? Your big knucklehead ass. Or is he ducking T.O.? You know, the dude he been hiding there for years. Or is he ducking Devontae Tank Davis? The dude who just finally, of years of Devin trying to fight him, come out and say that I'll fight Devin Haney. You know what I mean? Motherfuckers acting like Devin Haney ain't the one that's proven. Motherfuckers acting like Devin Haney ain't the one, you know what I mean, with the straps. Motherfuckers acting like Devin Haney ain't the money man. Fuck is you talking about? Motherfuckers acting like Devin Haney ain't the one that's making the decisions right now. Motherfuckers acting like Devin Haney ain't the one with all the marbles in his hand. I'm not finna, if I'm Devin Haney, I'm not letting nobody trick me out my goddamn spot, bro. You sit here and watch me get out of these belts. And now all of a sudden you want to fight. You a hater, my nigga. You used to call my daddy uncle. You used to call my daddy uncle. We got thousands of pictures together. Bitch, you done been in my house. I done been in your house. I done met your family. You done met my family. For years on years, since we was about 13 years old, I've been rapping with you. As soon as I had my biggest moment, now all of a sudden Lomachenko better than me. I lost. Y'all the real champ. You want to fight me. You a hater. You been hating. You been watching him get undisputed. The problem is he came over to your house and took your shit, right? He came over to your house and put you in your place. Now you know exactly where you stand with Bob Arum behind Devin Haney. Now you know exactly where you stand with Bob Arum, Shakur, behind Devin Haney. He still, he could have let you fight Devin Haney the last fight. He put Lomachenko on there. He about to give Devin Haney that T.O. fight at a new division. You still ain't had a title fight at 135. You praying that Devin Haney fight you right now so you can get a title shot. You the new top ranked Toby. You the new pawn, bro. You the new peon for Bob Arum. You chose to be over there. That bro, that was not good. How that bro began. Unfortunately, Shakur was on that bull. Like some folks. Now he was playing cool. He said people need to start showing my young black American undisputed champ some damn respect. Why didn't Shakur activate his Mando on deal within 6 months before Dale fought on? Why? Because he never was. That is true though, right? He was number one in WBC that he was claiming, right? He was number one in WBC that he was claiming, right? And we saw that they took that. You know what I mean, from him and gave it to Lomachenko. But that is true, right? He said Shakur got to get back on the end of the line. Tank may be incarcerated, but he's next. Tank only gonna be like it sounds funny saying Tank locked up. He only gonna be there 3 months. I swear, like they don't even. That's a vacation, bro. Tank probably was gonna take 3 months off anyway. You know what I mean? Fighters take 3 months off in between fights anyway. You know what I mean? So he locked up, like he can't do nothing else wrong, right? He can't do nothing else wrong, God forbid, right? But he ain't gonna be in jail that long. If I got any chance to fight Tank, I'm gonna do it. And Devin Haney most definitely could go up to 40 and then come back down to fight Tank because Tank do that anyway. That's up Tank alley. Tank just did that to Ryan Garcia. Tank waited for Barrios. I ain't gonna say he waited for him because I ain't like he seeked out Barrios, right? But Barrios was getting up to go to was getting ready to go up to 147, and then Tank fought him, you know, before he went to 140. It's not outside of the realm for Tank to bring guys back down or bring guys up to fight him. Tank is the king of not fighting in his division. You know what I mean? Tank could have been undisputed at 135. Him and Devin been in the same division their whole career. You know what I mean? Devin Haney signed to fight top rank 3 fights ago. You know what I mean? He signed to fight Tank 3 fights ago. He said they are not liked by everyone and never will. Facts, not in the opinion. Right, right. And this ain't even about who you like or who nothing like that. This about what's the best fight, what make the most sense. You know what I mean? If you're a Shakur Stevenson fan, yeah, you go push Devin Doe Shakur Stevenson, right? But if I'm a Teofimo Lopez fan, if Devin signed to fight Shakur Stevenson, I'm gonna say you dug Teofimo Lopez because you sat here and you waited all this time. You act like you want to fight Teofimo Lopez. You had your daddy all in his name finally get it on the dotted line, and now you go sign, you fight somebody else. You know what I mean? If I'm a Lomachenko fan, I'm gonna say you duck Lomachenko. Oh, Lomachenko beat you, Devin Haney. You knew you couldn't beat Lomachenko. You shake it, you duck Lomachenko. You knew to go fight Shakur Stevenson, Tank Davis, reach Prograis because Lomachenko was gonna beat you again. You ain't the real champ. You know what I mean? If you don't fight Reach Prograis, oh, you called that Reach Prograis for no reason. You knew you ain't want that smoke. You was clout chasing. You always talking about somebody clout chase. You just clout chase Reach Prograis. You knew you want to go fight Reach Prograis. You know what I mean, bro? So you make the best decision for you. The best decision, if I'm Devin, the best decision, if I'm Devin manager, is I'm gonna go fight Tank Davis because everybody love Tank. Everybody love Tank. So I'm gonna go beat the guy up that everybody love, right? It ain't for no belt, but he damn sure the most popular fighter. He damn sure give me the biggest bag. You know what I mean? If I can't fight Tank, I'm gonna go fight Teofimo Lopez. He coming off a huge win against Josh Taylor, right? He'll give me a big bag as well. You already see he done started that $100 million. You didn't see he and I already started that $100 million shit. So T.O. probably finna increase that bag even more with all that crying that he about to do. You know what I mean? I've been happy for him. I'm ready to go fight T.O. for a division in 140. Now, when it comes to Reach Prograis, like my girl Quee just said, I don't really know about that one, right? I don't really sure why you want to go fucking with Regis, you know what I mean? But Regis do got a belt at 140, right? You beat Reach Prograis, you get to prove yourself on the even bigger scale. You beat Reach Prograis, the only person to beat him was Josh Taylor. And a lot of people feel like Josh Taylor didn't even beat him, right? You know what I mean? So you'll still have that, and then you'll have that Regis Prograis score, you know what I mean, on your mental. You had that Regis Prograis score on your mental, and you'll have a belt at 140. You go fight Shakur Stevenson, you ain't really winning nothing. It's the same. It's the same. You know what I mean? Your bag ain't gonna be huge. You know what I mean? You'll get like a decent bag, right? You'll get a much smaller bag. Shakur Stevenson brings in a smaller bag, then T.O. brings in a smaller bag than Tank Davis. Shakur and Reach Prograis, I'm not really sure, but they both signed to the zone. Prograis and Devin both signed to the zone, right? So you got same side of the street when it comes to that. So y'all bag go be right anyway because y'all got the same boss. So I'm pretty sure he go take care of both of y'all. You get what I mean? So, Devin Haney and Tank Davis and T.O. most definitely bring you the biggest bag. Those my 1 and 2. You know what I mean? And those the two people that you got history with. You got a history with T.O. You got a history with Tank Davis. You know what I mean? So, of course, Stevenson is the new hate on the block, right? He the new hate on the block. So you make the new hate on the block work hard. Make him go get undisputed. Nah, he not. He not. He got to, Josh, when Bob Arum said, I got 3 options for you, Shakur Stevenson was one of the options, right? Teofimo Lopez was the other option, and Lomachenko was the other option. How could Bob Arum offer him Teofimo Lopez if T.O. wasn't signed to him? People see, oh, he offered him Shakur Stevenson, right? He offered him T.O. too, which means he could fight either one of those guys. You know what I mean, Josh? He could fight either one of those guys. He's still with Bob. You know what I mean? If Devin Haney signed to fight Teofimo Lopez finally got to fight him. That's what Teofimo Lopez said. But Bob Arum just offered Devin Haney Teofimo Lopez. Just like he offered him Shakur Stevenson and Lomachenko. Bob said, I got 3 options for Devin. He can fight this guy, he can fight that guy, he can fight that guy. You know what I mean? He said he could fight this guy, he could fight that guy, he could fight that guy. Now, the name that people want to make you seem like was the only name on the list is Shakur Stevenson. Shakur Stevenson was the smallest name on that fucking list. You know what I mean? Shakur Stevenson was the smallest name on that list. Sure enough, Shakur Stevenson know this probably his last gas. Shakur Stevenson know that he probably gonna have to fight Gervonta. You know what I mean? He probably gonna have to fight Frank. for those belts if Devin Haney let them go. You know what I mean? Devin Haney letting them belts go would be beautiful for the 135-pound division because that'll start a free-for-all, but we'll have to start seeing them guys actually fight together. Them straps gonna be vacant. You know them guys want them vacant straps. That's gonna get us the best fight. You know what I mean? We could get one good fight. You know what I mean? We could get one good fight. At 35, if Shakur fight Tank, Shakur fight Devin, right? We could get one good fight. Devin let them belts go. We go get 4 or 5 good fights. You know what I mean? Because I want to see what's gonna happen. I want to see what's gonna happen when these guys have to run into Frank Martin. I want to see what's gonna happen when these guys have to run into each other. I noticed that Tank Davis said that he'll fight Devin Haney and Shakur Stevenson. And Shakur Stevenson ain't said shit about Tank. Devin Haney been wanting to fight Tank for years. Devin Haney been wanting to fight T.O. for years. Why would I now switch to Shakur Stevenson? Why would I now switch to Shakur Stevenson when I'm finally getting the fights that I've been asking for years? I'm gonna say that again slow. I'm gonna say it again slow. Devin Haney been wanting to fight Gervonta Tank Davis for years. Devin Haney been wanting to fight Teofimo Lopez for years. Why would I now finally get those fights? I finally get Tank to say, I'm gonna fight Devin Haney or Shakur next. I'm gonna fight Devin Haney and Shakur next. I finally get Teofimo Lopez backed into a corner with Bob Arum where he can't go nowhere. He ain't got nowhere but to fight me. Why the hell would I go fight Shakur Stevenson when I'm finally getting the fights that I actually want? I'm finally getting the fight that I'm actually asking for. But y'all know that Tank fight is hard to make. Not when Tank said he fighting you next, damn it, man. Everybody want to hold Shakur Stevenson the champ to his word. I mean, everybody want to hold Devin Haney the champ to his word like he the one that's not proven, right? When we forget, Gervonta just said, I'm fighting Devin Haney next. We got to hold everybody to their word, yo. We got to hold everybody to their word, yo. We got to hold everybody to it. Tank said, I'm fighting Devin next. You know what I mean? So if Devin fights Shakur, is he ducking Tank? Him and Tank been at it for years. Him and T.O. been at it for years. Why I'm gonna wait all these years? Why? Why I'm gonna wait? Why I'm gonna wait? Why I'm gonna wait all these years? Why I'm gonna wait all these years and then give up the fights that I've been chasing all these years? I'd be ducking them. I'd be ducking them. Think about it. He said T got a point. Don't speak if you ain't gonna stand on it. You know what I mean? We forgetting that Tank said he gonna fight Devin. You know what I mean? We forgetting that Devin been saying he want to fight T.O. Shakur is clout chasing, bro. It's working. He getting to talk about it. He connecting his name to Devin Haney. He doing what Bud Crawford did to Earl Spence, yo. Tank with Al Heyman. Al Heyman make fights though. Al Heyman make big fights. Al Heyman don't care who you work with. Al Heyman make big fights. Devin Haney is a free agent. Devin Haney is a free agent. Devin Haney can fight anywhere he want to fight at. Anywhere. Devin Haney want to fight on Showtime anyway. He done fought everywhere else. Bill Haney just said the same thing. I love to work with Al Heyman. We fought everywhere except for over there. Devin Haney a free agent. Devin Haney literally is go. If Devin Haney fight Tank, he go sign the Showtime. He go sign the Showtime, y'all. Devin Haney is a free agent. Devin Haney signed a 3-fight deal to ESPN. It ain't gonna be hard to make because Tank gonna be their side and they gonna rock it like that. It's gonna be Tank promotion. It's gonna be Showtime. Devin gonna fight on Showtime, just like he fought on ESPN, just like he was fighting on the Zone. You know what I mean? But you could call him a duck. You could call him a duck no matter what he do, right? But you calling him a duck, that means you had to forget that he the nigga with the belts. That means you had to forget that he the one on top. How you ducking people and you on top? How you ducking somebody? You already got undisputed defended your belt twice. Now you moving to a different division. How the hell you the one that's ducking people? You the champ. Devin ain't ducking no goddamn body. Devin is continuing his career, doing what he said what he would do. Would be him fighting Teofimo Lopez. Would be him fighting Gervonta Tank Davis. You know what I mean? That would be Devin doing what he said he would do. As much as people hate, to recognize that. As much as people hate to recognize that, holding Devin to his word would be him fighting Tank. Would be him If he said I don't want to fight Tank, if he said I don't want to fight Tank, I don't want to fight T.O., right? That would be Devin Haney going against everything that he been standing on, going against everything, that he stood for. Because I know I'm losing y'all. Because that's the shit that he been saying. Of course, Stevenson came out of nowhere, bro, on his last fight with ESPN. I want to fight you. Man, if you don't get your trick ass, he came on his last fight with ESPN. I want to fight you. And now Devin ducking Shakur. Get out of here, man. That man came on the last fight. Literally, he came on the last fight and said, I want to fight you. Stop it, bro. Stop it. Devin can't reach out to Al Heyman. Al Heyman ain't the guy that you can reach out to. Al Heyman got to reach out to you. You can't reach out to him, right? You can't reach out to him, man. They got to find you. Espinosa, they got to find you. You know what I mean? Tank got to make that happen. Y'all saw how Tank said, do this with Ryan, do that with Ryan. He made the fight happen. Tank got to make that fight happen, bro. Tank said he was going to fight Devin. Everybody wanted to say what Devin said, what Devin did. Tank said he was going to fight Devin. Right? So, Devin, you can't just reach out to Al Hayden. He ain't the guy you just could pick up the phone and call. You know what I mean? You can't just reach out to Al. Like, that ain't something. Tank got to make that jump happen. Like he said he would. Like he said he would. Like he said he would. You know what I mean? We talking about what Devin said. What did Tank say? You know what I mean? What did Devin say? Devin want Tank. Devin want T.O. You know what I mean? You got to make it make sense, man. Got to make it make sense. But if we ranking these opponents, I'm asking y'all, if we ranking these opponents, what makes the most sense? Gervonta Tank Davis, Teofimo Lopez, Regis Prograis, or Shakur Stevenson? You got all four of these fights on the table if you Devin Haney. You got all these fights on the table. What makes the most sense if you Devin Haney? Gervonta Tank Davis, Teofimo Lopez, Regis Prograis, or Shakur Stevenson? With where you at and where you trying to go, you find Shakur Stevenson will be a lateral move unless you plan on staying at 35. If you go progress your career to 140, you got two title opportunities right now against two damn good opponents. T.O., who coming off the biggest win in his life, Regis Prograis, coming off the biggest win in his life, and Jose Zepeda. If you fight Shakur Stevenson, you stand in the same division for your belt, for the belt that you already got. But I ain't gonna keep y'all in this thing too long. I appreciate y'all folks riding through this John Skin the Highway 70. This ain't the past, this ain't the future, but this the present. That's how we rocking, and I'm out. Love.